We'll open the May meeting, so now we're live streaming over. Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting and open the meeting with a prayer. Almighty God, be with us as we work for the people of the Shire of Moorabool. Grant us wisdom that we may care for the Shire of true stewards of your creation, may be aware of the great responsibilities placed upon us. Help us to be just in all our dealings, and may our work prosper for the good of all. I'd like now to give the Acknowledgement of Country. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we are meeting. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. In accordance with Council's meeting governance rules, this meeting will be recorded and also live streamed. Everyone is present or online, so there's no apologies. Confirmation of minutes of the ordinary council meeting Wednesday the 6th of April. Somebody prepared to move those be received? Councillor Minari, Councillor Ward. I'll put that. All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Councillors, are there any conflict of interest on the matters on tonight's agenda? Okay, thank you. Public question time. There are no questions, Mr CEO, I take it? Okay, thank you. Item 8, petitions. There's no petitions? No. Thank you. No presentations or deputations. Thank you. Item 11.1, Age Well, Live Well Strategy 2022-2025. Councillors, a recommendation there, and the report itself is in the attachments. Somebody, any questions? Somebody prepared to move that, Councillor Tatchell? Councillor Ward? I'll put that. All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Next item of business is item 12.1. 2021-2025 Moorabool Shire Council Plan, third quarter progress for January-March 2022. Again, there's a recommendation there. Council, are there any questions? Somebody wish to move that? Councillor Tatchell, as a seconder. Councillor Ward. Any discussion? Put that. All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Next item of business, item 12.2, 2017-2021 Moorabool Shire Council Plan Outstanding Actions Progress Report. There is a recommendation if there's or if an officer, Mr CEO, wish to add anything to that report. Okay, thank you. The recommendation there can't move. Councillor Dudzik as a seconder. Councillor Minari. No dissent. I'll put that. All those in favour. It's carried. Thank you. Item 13.1, Capital Improvement Quarterly Report, March 31, 2022. Again, there's a recommendation to receive the report. Is somebody prepared to move that or have a question? Councillor Dudzik, Mr Seconder. Councillor Berry. Any dissent? I'll put that. All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. No other reports, Mr CEO?
None in the ordinary meeting.
Okay, thank you. No notices of motion and no notices of rescission. Move on to 17, the Mayor's report, which has, I think, is somewhere. So I think it's been circulated. I did see it earlier. I'm assuming. Oh, hang on. I did. Thank you. Thanks, Di. Basically, it's just the events that have been in the last little while, councillors. So I'll just tender that as read. Move, Councillor Tatchell. Seconded, Councillor Minari. All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Councillor reports. I'll start from my left. Councillor Ward. Any councillor reports, please? Thank you. Councillor Minari. Any councillor report, please?
Yes. It's been a busy month, Mr Mayor. Obviously Anzac Day, and but I want to mention two other events that I went to that were quite wonderful. Obviously the Blackwood Easter Woodshop Carnival, huge numbers there this year, more than we've ever seen, and it was just a wonderful day. And I also want to mention one that sort of may have gone off the radar. It was the Bacchus Marsh Skate Park competition, and it was a big hit with the kids, and I spent the day there, and it was just awesome. So I'm really excited to see those happening soon. Excellent. In Bland and Gordon.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Minari. Councillor Tatchell, any councillor reports?
Thanks, Mr Mayor. If I could just make note of Rick Campy that took over the RSL in Bland some 6 years ago, and those that will remember it, I'm sure you will, Mr Mayor, that there was a front page story that the Bland RSL was likely to close, and they were down to 3 members. And along came Rick, and a decorated modern soldier, put some life back into it, and we've seen this extraordinary increase in participation from the RSL. And I'd just like to note that Rick has gone back to his family in WA, and there is a new president of the RSL, and I'd be loath not to make note of Rick's contribution in terms of putting the heart and soul back into the RSL. Not just that, the work that he does on a weekly basis, where he's continually in touch with ex-vets, people involved even in peacetime, with our peacetime participation. That Rick has been heavily involved with those people. It largely go unnoticed. They've done an enormous amount of work across the world in very difficult circumstances. And whilst I congratulate Pippa for stepping up into the role as president, I'd just like to note, Mr Mayor, that guys like Rick Campy only come along every decade, and had Rick not come along when he did, I fear that the RSL and Bland would have closed. And when you see that, you were there on Anzac Day,
Indeed.
Mr Mayor, and 2 events, and we filled the park, and we had to close the road, and Rick just casually stepped back into the background, as if all of those 6 years' work were just part of his duties, which is fairly common, as you'll note, in most soldiers, that they tend to take a background step after committing. And I suppose he's the quintessential modern soldier, and this community will be very sad to see him go. So I just think I'd note that, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tatchell. Councillor Edwards, any councillor reports, please?
No, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Berry, any councillor reports, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. I too attended the Blackwood Easter Shop Fair. It was fantastic to see so many people out and about having a great time, given all the COVID crap that's gone on. With the Anzac Day, I was very moved at the amount of people that were at the dawn service in Bacchus Marsh. Then the Anzac Day March, which is very, very humbling when you're walking along with people who have fought and given so much of their time and service to those who have fallen, and for those that continue. I met a couple of soldiers that are still in the service, and one who isn't, unfortunately, was deployed in. I just lost my thought there, but he developed epileptic fits, so had to be removed, and he walked on the day, which was fantastic. Also went out to the Comida service, which is a lovely little community out there at Memorial Park, and Mr Ken Downing, who's an ex-councillor, looked after me out there, and it was just very, very special, very small community area there, so they were grateful that I went out there. And by all means, last but not least, today was just such an exciting day to find out that we were getting $10 million for the pool, and I just wanted to say hurrah for the community there that has been fighting so hard for up to 30 years, and I'm sure there's a lot out there who will be excited, and hopefully we can get the rest and get this pool. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Berry. Councillor Dudzik, any councillor reports, please?
Yeah. I attended the Bacchus Marsh Dawn Service and March on the 25th of April and laid the wreath on behalf of Council. It's been an exciting month full of announcements. We actually had the Premier, Daniel Andrew, attend Bacchus Marsh on the 13th of April, announcing funding towards the turning of the sod of the Aquatic Centre on the 13th of April. And then he was back here again today, and the big announcement for today was $10 million towards the Moorabool Aquatic Centre, which was fantastic. We also had sod turnings at the Bacchus Marsh Recreation Reserve with various ministers. We did see the federal candidate Sam Ray on the 27th of April. That was the same day as the racecourse sod turning, and also an announcement of funding for car parking in Bacchus Marsh. And Sam Ray made an election promise towards Federation Park, which is very much welcome because that park does need improvement. Myself and Councillor Berry and Councillor Manari put the hard word on Sam for funding towards our aquatic centre, and we made it very clear that we would like funding for a pool. And now that we have state funding committed in the budget, I'm hoping that all the different people running in the federal election will be making promises towards our aquatic centre.
Thank you, Councillor Dudzik. Somebody move that the council reports be received, please. Councillor Manari, Councillor Berry. I'll put that all as in favour. It's carried. Thank you. I'll start item 19, urgent business. I'll start on my left again. Councillor Ward, any urgent business? Thank you. Councillor Manari, any urgent business? Councillor Tatchell, any urgent business?
No urgent business, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Edwards, any urgent business, please? Councillor Edwards?
No, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Berry, any urgent business, please?
No, Mr Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Dudzik, any urgent business?
No, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Next item of business is item 20, closed session of the meeting to the public to consider two items, 20.1 and 20.2, which are noted on the paper there, which relate to confidential occasional care and the sports oval construction, Bacchus Marsh Racecourse Reserve. So somebody move that we move into confidential, please. Councillor Ward, Councillor Manari. I'll put that all as in favour. It's carried. Thank you. We'll just have to wait till we go.